Hey there, welcome to a brand new episode of Muzikxpress. My name is Twan, and in this week's vlog you will see my interview with Gez Varley about the L.F.O classic L.F.O. But before we start with the interview, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, and very important, also make sure to click the bell button, because then you will get a notification the next time a new vlog is online. And if you enjoy my interviews and you want to support Muzikxpress, you can do that via one of the links in the video description. Every donation is very much appreciated. Alright, here it is, the story behind L.F.O by L.F.O, my interview with Gez Varley. Enjoy! L.F.O was a British electronic dance act from Leeds, formed by Mark Bell and Gez Varley. In the year 1990, they released their very first track as L.F.O, which also was titled L.F.O. The track came out via Sheffield-based label Warp Records, and it became a big success in the clubs, and L.F.O even made it to the number 12 position of the UK singles chart in July 1990. For this week's vlog, I sat down with Gez Varley to ask him about the story behind L.F.O and more. My first question to him was how old he was when he started to listen to music.
I started listening to music when I was about 7 years old. My father was into like Pink Floyd, all that early stuff, psychedelic 70s, so he introduced me to that when I was about 7 years old. ELO, Pink Floyd and psychedelic stuff, and it just blew my mind as a child. So after that I continued with music. By the age of 8, 9 I was listening to AC/DC, Black Sabbath, Saxon, all these English heavy metal bands, and it just continued. Yeah.
And how old were you when you started to make music yourself?
I started to make music when I was about 13, 14. My older brother had a drum machine, Boss DR220 something. So around 13, 14, I started doing like little programming on machines like that. And then electro music was coming out, and some of my friends in Newcastle were doing proper electro tracks. So, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So, do you recall your very first ever release?
As in music?
Yeah.
So the first ever thing we ever did was L.F.O, and that was the end of 89, and then it physically came out summer of 1990 in England, yeah. So I was quite a buzz because some of the first radio DJs that played it were my childhood heroes, like John Peel. So he played it April 1990 at the promo, and it was like totally amazing that John Peel would play it, because I grew up listening to the John Peel radio show.
Yeah. So yeah, the L.F.O project was as a massive classic. You started that project together with Mark Bell.
Yeah.
Do you recall meeting Mark for the very first time?
Yeah, first time I met Mark Bell was around 1984. There was a shopping centre in Leeds. He grew up in a different area from where I grew up. I grew up in West Leeds, and he was like North Central. But we met up via breakdancing. So we met up in the Marine Centre in 1984, as in two different breakdancing crews. But we got along, we talked, and then we were dancing and stuff, and then we didn't see each other for another 3 years. Then we met up again on a photography course in Leeds called Sidestep, and we just hit it off, made friends, and we're both into music, so we started doing the group together. Yeah, it was fantastic time,
Yeah. So were you influenced by something when you started to work on L.F.O?
We were influenced from a lot of stuff. I mean, the main influence was early electro records, but also at that time in Bradford you had Unique Free. They were friends of ours. Nightmares on Wax, they were friends of ours. Then in Sheffield you had Forge Masters and Cabaret Hotel, they're all friends. So we all hooked up and before we knew it, we're all having chart records, hit records. Yeah. So
what do you remember from the production process of L.F.O?
It was very quick, tricky. We had 2 keyboards. We had like an Atari ST doing the sequencing, and we had very limited stuff, 2 effects units, but we used what we could to the maximum of it, and it was limited. But what we did, I remember thinking when we finally recorded it, I remember thinking, this is a cool track, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it still sounds good today.
Yeah. So I think if that sounds of a 909, but you told me that it's not an actual 909.
No, we couldn't afford to buy the 909 drum machine. I had personally 808 drum machine, which we used for the B-sides, track 4 and Pro. But the A-side, we actually used for a record. Simon Harris did Breaks and Beats records, and one of them was just 909 beats. And I remember we just got this loop, like we just looped it, and I said to Mark, "That's it. That's the drums."
Yeah. So do you still have some of the old equipment?
Some of it, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
It's fun to use.
Yeah. So what was the most difficult part of the production?
Doing the programming on the Atari ST with we had Creator at the time, but it was always at that time it was all fresh and new, so that took 2 or 3 days to get it done and stuff. But yeah, it was, you just did it.
Yeah.
You know.
So besides Mark, I also see Martin Williams in the credits.
Yes.
What was his role during the production of the track?
So we all grew up with Martin Williams. He was like a good friend. He was the main DJ in Leeds and stuff. Then I started the group with Mark Bell. He joined. And Martin Williams was like a tutor on this course. We're doing photography and graphic design. So we all knew Martin. And then he said, right, let's do a setup at my house. And we spent 2 or 3 months there getting the early L.F.O stuff together. So Martin was like a producer, helped with the arrangement and the promotion, and he was like the main DJ in Leeds, and he was like, guys, this track's so cool, it's going to be massive. And yeah, he was right.
Yeah. So for the vocal L.F.O sample, you guys did use a Texas Instrument speak and spell toy. I actually brought one. So who came up with the idea for that one?
Me.
Yeah. So it was yours?
No. Actually, Martin Williams had a young daughter and she had one, but we didn't use that. For me, it was... I heard a track from Juan Atkins about a year or 2 before, and he was doing something else with this. And I said to Matt Bell, because we're starting the group, and I said, look, we need to get recognised around Leeds. Why don't we get this, sample it, L.F.O, our group name, and then people will recognise and remember when they're out in the club. So yeah, so we got this. You know what I mean? Kraftwerk used this. Totally techno, man. It's L.F.O. it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But this must be a different version, because the English one's very posh.
Yeah. So do you still have it?
Yes, I do actually. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't use it very much.
No. So how long did it take you to finish the entire track?
Good question. I would say programming 2 weeks, the final mix 1 day, so 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Yeah.
So I think Martin Williams was also the first one to play L.F.O in a club.
Yes.
So
the Leeds Warehouse Club. Yeah. So he was the DJ there, so we had a cassette tape and we played it out. And then one night, Rob Gordon was there, the original guy from What Records. So he come up and he said, "Yo, guys, what's this?" So we went out and we sat in a car with him. We had like a demo tape with about 30 tracks, and he said, "Wow, we just set this label up in Sheffield, What Records, with Rob Mitchell and Steve Beckett. We're gonna sign you guys." We said, yeah. We were like, yeah, okay, whatever. Then a week later, we met up and we were like signing the record deal.
Yeah.
So we're like, from nothing to that within like a week. It was totally amazing.
Yeah. So but the version that Martin played in the club, that was still like a demo version?
Demo version. It was very close to the original. Yeah.
So what was changed like in the final version?
Not very much.
Well, not
Not very much. It's,
So yeah, okay. My next question was it difficult to find a label for the track? But yeah, you already said that was not difficult.
well, come along, yeah. But to be honest, I think if we'd have tried some of the other labels at the time, they wouldn't have signed us.
Yeah,
because it was too revolutionary, forward thinking, different.
People wouldn't understand.
They won't get it.
Yeah. You already said that John Peel was picking up the track, but I read somewhere that there was also a DJ called Simon, I'm not sure if I pronounced it right, Mayo, and he said L.F.O. was the worst track he ever heard.
Simon Mayo, yeah. Okay, right. There's a long story here, right? It's like this. If you don't pay the right people to get your music played on Radio 1, then you're on the wrong side of the music mafia back then. Simon Mayer was in the music mafia. We didn't pay him. He didn't get his money. Radio 1 had to play the track twice in 1 week, and he slagged it off and said, what a load of bullshit. Simple as that.
Yeah, half.
Yeah.
So yeah, L.F.O. even made it to the British charts, and in July 1990 the track peaked at the number 12 position.
Yeah.
Did you ever expect the track to become so big once you guys finished it?
We never expected it to go that far, but when we first did it, I remember listening to it, and I was heavily into music, also being part of this, and I was thinking, this is going to be big, and DJ Meyer said, this is going to be big. Matt Bell didn't really know, but he was like, yeah, it sounds good. And I was thinking maybe it goes top 100, and then it went like, first week it went to 43, then it went to like 37, then to 26, and then these guys are ringing up this, Simon Mayer and these people, the pluggers. They were saying, give us £10,000, we'll get to UK number 1. We were like, we're not paying nothing, you know what I mean? If it sells, it sells, you know what I mean? But it was a big success, and it was amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, were you happy that it ended up in the charts?
In one way, yes. Another way, no.
Yeah, because you wanted to stay credible, I guess.
I want to stay underground, me.
Yeah.
I mean, later on with L.F.O, a lot of things changed. Matt Bell wanted to be commercial. That's why he worked with Bjork, Depeche Mode. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
But that's his choice.
Yeah. So is it also true that you guys turned down an invitation of Top of the Pops to perform the track there? Okay, funny thing. Top of Pops, they always want you to go down there, do it and perform it, yeah. And we point blank said, no, we don't want to do it. They played the video, which was enough for me and Matt Bell. And yeah, I don't know. It just seemed totally false and wrong. And, because I grew up listening to John Peel, and John Peel was like my number one hero, and he was always underground, credible music. Yeah, so Top Up Pops for me, that's like Human League, something, or... Yeah, not L.F.O.
No, L.F.O, yeah.
So around the time of the release, how old were you guys?
I was 18, Matt Bell just turned 19.
Yeah.
I think Martin Williams maybe 24, 25, but he'd left L.F.O just before.
Yeah.
So just me and Matt Bell then. Yeah. So we went from like nothing to mainstream music, Top of the Pops, within a couple of months.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird, because then you had to they wanted you to do this, to do that, do a remix.
Yeah.
It was like,
so what is your favorite memory when it comes to the release of L.F.O?
Favorite memory?
Yeah.
Going into my local pub in Pudsey in Leeds, and the older guy DJ coming on the microphone, I knew him, and he said, he's here, the guy with the hit record. They come in, they played L.F.O in the pub, and they were like, all my school friends go, ooh.
Yeah, that's
kind of weird.
Yeah, I can imagine. Still cool.
Yeah, still cool, but yeah.
So do you have any idea how many copies of L.F.O have been sold during the years?
Official release, 130,000. Now, 30 years on, I'd say 250,000 easy. Yeah.
And it's still like a lot of compilations.
Still sells. I get, digital downloads. It's not loads, but it still sells something. You get like £2,000 a year or something. And you're like, look at the statements like Thailand and Zimbabwe, and if you can do people hear my music.
That's fun. That's fun. So around 1997, you left the L.F.O project and you started a solo project called G-Man. What can you tell about that project?
Yeah, well, I had enough of L.F.O by end of 96, so around that time I was doing like more techno. I played Warp a lot of my G-Man stuff. They weren't interested. I played a few of the big labels, which I'm not going to mention. And a guy called Colin Newman and Marcus Spiegel picked up on it. They were Wire, the group, Swim Records, and it was like a new thing coming out there, like dub techno. There was one or two guys slightly before me, Basic Channel, and then there were like Rich in DBX, stuff like that. But it was like a new thing. Warp weren't interested. They were so anti-techno, you wouldn't believe it. So luckily this label picked up on me, and it was actually more of a success at that time than L.F.O.
Oh, really? Yeah.
A lot more.
Yeah.
So then I met a girl in Germany. I was touring Germany, so I went to Germany and everything picked up. I had loads of gigs. Enough money, I could relax without the L.F.O nonsense.
Yeah.
And it picked up really well. I'm still doing it today. Yeah.
So for the people who don't know your G-Man releases, which G-Man tracks should they definitely check out?
Collaborators, L.Gem, Spartacus, to name but a few.
Yeah. So
I like that question.
Yeah. So what are you working on right now?
I'm always doing stuff. So right now I'm doing a lot of stuff on Bandcamp for myself. So I do like these weird sci-fi, futuristic techno tracks. I upload it and maybe it sells like 100 copies, but I like that right now. I'm also doing some old school G-Man stuff again with a French label, so that's coming out next month. I'm always doing stuff.
Yeah.
Because people say to me, what have you been doing? I said, well, you're not on the internet and you're not keeping up, because I didn't stop.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. So unfortunately, Mark Bell passed away in 2014 at the age of 43. But I read that not long before his death, you guys were talking about starting L.F.O again.
Yeah, it's a long story. We didn't talk for maybe like 10 years. We had a really bad breakup, and we met one time, and he was always a bit sour, and I said, Mark, you've been working with Depeche Mode, Bjork, why should you be sour? Anyway, cut long story short, he got back in contact again, and we were talking about doing L.F.O again, like reforming, doing a new album, new tour. And then a few weeks later, poor old Mark Bell passed away, he died. Which was quite a shock, actually.
Yeah, that's a shame, especially because you had plans to start all over again.
Yeah.
I guess you were both like very excited for that.
Yeah. I mean, we had us ups and downs, but we still liked each other.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, of course. So in 2025, it's 35 years ago since the release of L.F.O. Do you have any plans for the anniversary?
No, really, no. Because Warp Records control everything from that time. And these guys are crazy, man. They don't want to do anything. But if you try to do something, they're like, oh, you can't do that. Yeah. Which is kind of weird. So, no, I'm not doing it.
No, okay.
No.
So do you think they will do something? Probably not.
Ich keine Ahnung.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So is there still something on your bucket list, music-wise?
Good question. What's on my bucket list?
Music-wise?
Oh, man, I love to work with Brian Eno.
Oh, yeah.
He's cool, man. Personally, like Basic Channel, man, they're cool.
Yeah.
Because I've already worked with some cool people like Richie Orton, to name some people.
Yeah.
Basic Channel, Brian Eno.
Yeah. Well, Brian, if you're watching, then get it.
Brian Eno, if you're watching.
So what kind of music do you listen to in your spare time?
A lot of things. Brian Eno.
Yeah. That's a good one. No.
To be honest, I listen to a lot of the old 80s stuff. Try to keep up with music today. I get a lot of promos sent, but there's tons of good music, but there's too much.
Yeah.
So maybe in a week I listen to 5-6 new techno stuff, which is really cool. But then if you say to me, what are you going to do Friday night when you relax? Then I listen to Brian Eno, early 80s, maybe early Warp.
Yeah.
Aphex Twin maybe, or I just relax, you know.
So no Black Sabbath or AC/DC?
Occasionally.
Yeah. Yeah. Depends on the mood, I guess.
Depends how angry I am.
Yeah.
You can't beat that old music.
Yeah, that's true. And the last question, pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No.
No? Okay.
I like to eat Italian food. No.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a no.
That's a no.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your time and good luck with everything.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Yeah, man, that was great.
Yeah,
thank you.
Alright, that was it. This week's vlog, my interview with Gez Varley and the story behind L.F.O by L.F.O. Gez, thanks a lot for your time. Much appreciated. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the vlog. If you did, make sure to give this video a like, leave a comment in the comment section below, and very important, make sure to subscribe. Also make sure to click the bell button, because then you will get a notification the next time a new vlog is online. Once again, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye bye.